So what's up YouTube, this is Max from M110 Productions, and today, after like 7 months, I have this Poland MOC. It's finally out. I've been planning this and kind of building and taking it apart and building it for 7 months. So it's finally out, and general overview, I used like 1,600 pieces. I spent I think over $100 on Lego bricks, but mostly just brick arms, decals, and helmets and weapons and accessories, along with a few brick forge things, but mostly brick arm stuff. And then this tank. For the Germans, we have this tank and the 3 Zundapp motorcycles, which the tank I did actually not have instructions for, I just built it by looking at pictures. And then we have 10 horses for the Polish. So then for minifigures, the Germans have 12, plus the tank commander, which is 13 minifigures. And then for the Polish, they have 10 cavalry, and then 11 infantry. And then, yeah, I think the only Lego pieces that I had to buy were just those beige 2x6s, and then the rest of the stuff that I had to buy was just brick arms, weapons, and helmets, and accessories. And then the time that I spent for me planning it out was 7 months. Like I said, it was about 6 months actually, and then it only took me 4 hours to put the whole thing together. And then yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so this video is just going to be a takedown, so I'll just set it up and have a time lapse of me taking it down. But first I'm just gonna go really quickly over all the components. So right here we have a Panzer III, and we have the Panzer Commander there with a P08 Luger. And then we've got the infantry down here, so they have KAR 98s, and then MP40s, and then 3 motorcycles here, the Zundapp, I don't remember what they're called, the Zundapps, I think, and then another MP40, and then 2 MG34s, I think, or 42s. And then we've got the Polish cavalry here. So a few of these I had to bring back from my uncle's house. He used to have a lot of old knight Legos, so I took it back a few of these pieces, but the rest of them were just Lord of the Rings horses that I just had a bunch of. So we've got a few of them right here. There's their commander, and then these 4, I think, no, it's just this guy here, and then a few of these guys have the Brickmania slide on or water slide decals for the World War II Polish infantry. So that was really relieving to find out. And then we've got these guys back here with the swords, and then 2 guys who tried to charge there and died. And then these are supposed to be M1917 water-cooled machine guns, but I didn't have the pieces, and I keep on forgetting to order them, so I just made my own. So they're kind of firing at those guys over there. And then 2 guys here, they have the water slide decals, a guy who just got his arm shot off, and then 2 guys who are in trauma right now. They have SMLE rifles, Lee Enfield rifles. Alright, so that's all the minifigures, all the vehicles, most of the add-ons, details, except for these little things. So now I'm just gonna take apart the rest of this thing, and then you can see the kind of structural design that I used for this thing. I also would like to note that it's really, really sturdy. Like, it could probably be used as a mock wall, probably. I didn't really realize that until I had to take it somewhere and the whole thing was made, that it was just really sturdy, except for here where it just gets down to one plate. But this design is really good for just this kind of a layer of thickness. So if you were building a mock that would probably be just this much, I would recommend using this type of structural design. So here is Eastern Poland with all of these plates taken off, and you can see here I have some more supporters here for where I didn't have very big pieces, if there are stuff like 2x4s or 2x2s. And I also noticed something here. I had to have supporters here because I was using 2x8 plates here, and I thought those would work much better, but I think the 2x6s were much more sturdy because you just didn't need any supporters here, unlike the 2x8s where they were laying vertically instead of horizontally, so you had to have more spacers. But right here I was using 6x8s, which Lego.com didn't sell anymore. And then here I just had a variety of smaller pieces, and then here the tank was, and I had a bunch of tiles there. So you can see I just have a bunch of 2x4s laying here, and then in some places I think I had 2x6s. They might be around here somewhere. I've 2 2x6s right there, so sometimes I use 2x4s, but when I ran out of 2x4s I just used 2x6s. So now we're going to work on western Poland right here. Okay, so here almost everything is taken off, all the plates, except for this transition slope right here. And as you can see, this part right in the middle is where I had a bunch of the small plates for the transition from brown to that beige color, and then right here is where I had a few of the smaller pieces because I had to have connectors. But right here is where I had all the 2x6s, which was really nice because I didn't have to have any more supports in between them. And then here I just had a lot of random pieces. I didn't buy any pieces for the brown side, so I had to have a lot of connectors there. And then I just have a bunch of random color 2x4s or 2x2s and 2x6s, and then just around the edge I have 2x4s and 2x6s just to make up the rim, so that it looks relatively nice. So I think I'm just gonna finish taking off the slope part now. Okay, so now I've taken off all the plates right here, and I just have this kind of slope up in the land, and then all we have now is all of the bricks on the side here, kind of make up the edge, and then all of the support pieces in the middle. So I'm just gonna go over that and do that really quickly, and then we'll be done, and then I can talk more about the vehicles and minifigures and details. Okay, so I have these 3 bins so far. It's made out of regular cereal box cardboard, because a while ago I started just taking the cereal boxes that we had and keeping them because I really wanted to make the Star Wars Clone Trooper armor. So I just knew that I was able to make it out of cardboard. So I tried several years, and then I think last year I was actually able to make it. It doesn't fit me now, of course, but I was able to make it then. So I just had all these cardboard boxes, so I was able to make these bins corresponding to the different brick types. So 2x6s and 2x3s, and then 2x2s and 2x4s. Just because sorting by type is it's easier to find stuff when they're sorted by type instead of color. Okay, so I just cleaned up the rest of the stuff. I do have 3 1x4s, and then these 1x12s or something, and then one 1x2. I don't have bins for those. I think I do have bins for the 1x4s. But I used so many 2x4s. It's so nice to have a full bin now. Same with the 2x2s. I didn't use too many, but I do have a lot of those too, and not too many of those. But then that is not including all of these bricks in here, which I will sort out after this video. Just to kind of talk over the vehicles, as you know, I had the Panzer III here, which I actually had to build. I didn't have any instructions for it, so I just built it by looking at the pictures, which I got pretty close. It is supposed to have the double wide treads though, and not just the single wide treads, but that was one thing that I changed. But it was actually really good because I didn't have to order any pieces for this. I just had all of the pieces in my Lego collection, which was really nice. And then I made this function here. There's some pieces in there, but I made this function here that this whole thing just kind of slides off really easily, which is really nice. And then it spins. It can kind of, the turret can't really go up and down, but then these hatches open like in the set, and then these hatches on the side also open like in the set too. And then as you know, I had 10 of these horses. A lot of these were Lord of the Rings horses that were relatively newer, like 2013 ones or 2012 ones that had the posable back legs, and then a lot of them were the older ones, which the only things that were posable were their heads. And then I also had 3 of these Zundapp motorcycles here, which I kind of based off of the Indiana Jones set, which I got like 8 years ago. So I kind of based it off that set, but a few of the things didn't really look right, so I kind of changed up a few of the things there. But then other than that, I had 12 Germans, plus this guy, so that was 13 Germans, and then I think it was 20 1 Polish minifigures because there was 10 cavalry and 11 infantry. Okay, so this is all for this mock. The next mock, which will come out probably like September or October, maybe even later than that, will be my Dunkirk mock. But I have to buy a lot of pieces for that, and a lot of minifigures, and a lot of brick arms stuff, brick arms helmets, brick arms decals, and I have to build a lot of stuff, which is why I'm glad that I got the Great War Instructions book, just because it has a lot of, the mock will include a lot of stuff from World War I, just because they hadn't had, the British didn't have too many technological advances since then, so that'll be fun, and then after that, I'll do, hopefully by December of 2017, I'll have my attack on Pearl Harbor mock out, which will be pretty easy because I just have to repurpose the ship and then take apart the beach and build kind of a dock instead, and then just buy more minifigures, which wouldn't take too long. But then hopefully I'll have that out. And then I don't know what I'll have after that, but I do have mocks planned for like until 2026, maybe 2027. So for another 10 years, I think I'll be building mocks. But you know, by then they'll be easier to build, just since I have more pieces, and they'll be bigger and higher quality, I think, too. But I just really want to thank Brickmania and Brick Arms, because I definitely prefer Brick Arms over Brick Forge, just because of their accuracy in their colors and the shapes and the designs and the scale for their weapons and their helmets too. I just really like Brick Arms much better than Brick Forge. And then I'd also like to thank Brickmania for their instructions books, which I have not bought a set from them yet. I will sometime, hopefully. I don't have the money for it now, but I really want to buy a set from them, so I will soon, I think. And then yeah, I'd also like to thank LEGO for actually having pieces for me, because the actual piece that I wanted to have, they didn't have, so I had to buy a different piece, which was actually better, I think. And then I'll see you next week too, with my Pack 38 in 1/20 scale for Micro Brick Battle. And then I'm also planning to launch the first video about naval warfare at the end of July, and like July 30th or August 1st, I think. So like July 30th or August 1st, I think. I'll have a video kind of explaining the whole thing, and then every Wednesday, like I do now, I'll have videos just about the vehicles and how they work and stuff. But I still have to play it a few more times, but I think by then I'll have it out. And then by, I think, December, I'll integrate the Brickmania's new aerial warfare, which I hope it's out by then. I'll try and integrate that into the naval warfare too, because the coolest part about naval warfare is that you can use this naval warfare, aerial warfare, and land warfare all together in one game, which I'm also trying to put out an extension to land warfare, which has figures, which are just these 1x1 round pieces, round bricks. So this would be a squad. I think that's the U.S. Marines. But I'm still working out the details on that, so I don't know when that will come out. But yeah, I'll have that, and all that will come out hopefully on those dates that I said. So I will see you then.